Hi, happy Wednesday. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to read a Chuck Swindoll quote. I actually used to have this on my refrigerator a long time ago. It's about attitude. I used to listen to Chuck Swindoll on the radio. I used to listen to Christian radio all day long when my kids were coming up. When my oldest was very little and we were in Florida, I got stuck on watching soap operas, and I was addicted to watching soap operas all day long. And I'd sit in the rocking chair. I had this comfy rocking chair where I'd sit in the rocking chair and nurse Sarah. I'd read my Bible. I'd have my quiet time. I'd watch soap operas all day. I also, though, at that time, I was babysitting some other children in my home sometimes, but that was like a couple times a week. But anyways, I watched soap operas all day long. And when we moved up to Georgia in 1988, around the time I got pregnant with my oldest son, I started listening to, I think it was a Joy FM out of Atlanta. And that is where I first heard Joyce Meyer also. And so I changed that, because they always say, like, the replacement thing, you need, when you're addicted to something, you need to replace it with something else. You can't just take it away because it leaves a void there. So you need to replace it with something else. So I started listening to Christian radio, and I would listen to Christian radio all day long. And I would listen to Chuck Swindoll, I would listen to Charles Stanley, I would listen to Joyce Meyer, and I would listen to Christian music most of the day. But anyways, and I did have some of when I got rid of my things I had some CDs from Chuck Swindoll too, and some books. But anyways, this is a quote on attitude, and it's very good. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, money, than circumstances, than failure, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. Charles R. Swindoll. He sometimes goes by Chuck. I heard his sister speak at Women of Faith, I believe. Went to that in 2014 with my sister-in-law Joyce. It was in North Carolina, but she's a very good speaker too, and teacher, like Bible teacher, I guess, storyteller. I don't know. So I was thinking about this today because I've been upset recently because of things going on in my family or in my daughter's lives that I'm not a part of their lives anymore. So, and it's sad. When it began, it was mostly my oldest daughter, and I was going to a counselor, and because I have been for counseling. I'm not one of those that thinks I'm too good for that, or I'm above that, or I don't need that. I also had a psychiatrist because I was diagnosed a little bipolar, and well, she said I was somewhere in between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, whatever that means. I have, thank God, never been hospitalized for it. My dad had it, I believe. He never accepted that diagnosis, though, and he was never hospitalized for it either. But at my psychiatrist's office was my counselor, Bodee, and when I told her, because this happened to me last night, I was crying. When I told Bodee that I would lie around my house in Warner Robins and cry about my daughters, she said to think about something else, go do something else, to get my mind off of it. And so to me, it felt like she wasn't getting to the root of the problem. To me, I felt like she was wanting me to sweep it under the carpet, and I wanted like something to do to fix this, which I still feel like sometimes I want something to do to fix this. How can I fix this? And but I know she meant well. I never had a counselor that, I feel like what helped me most was like Lisa A. Romano and me identifying what the problem and the root cause of what I was going through now, the connection to my past and my codependency and people pleasing and allowing people to disrespect me. And that's what I felt like my counselor Bodee never got to. I mean, she was a good counselor. They ended up, I don't know what, my doctor was from Africa, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden this office just closed down. And I'm just like, are you serious? I had another counselor's office closed down, but my doctor had moved at that office. But I was just like, really? You have all these patients with serious mental issues and you're just going to desert us all? Like, adios amigo, goodbye. It blew my mind. But before that happened, though, Bodee, and it's funny because what was said about my, because I tried to bring my whole family in there to fix everybody. And so it was said that she was, and she was, a marriage and family counselor. So that was her job, basically. But it was said I had her bamboozled. But anyways, she was trying to fix us too. I mean, because like, I don't know, the thought came afterwards that, when I lost my health insurance, I went to one doctor, so I wasn't going to that office. I had to go to a counselor at the health department when I needed to go for counseling, and it was free. And ironically, I feel like that was, I was at a better place, I guess, to receive it, because I was just at rock bottom at that point, 2019. And I was at a better place to receive it, I guess, but I felt like she was like the best counselor I had ever had. And she was my oldest son's age, I think. She was 30 something. But we just dealt with a lot of issues. And but anyways, that counselor went out of business, closed down. And I don't know if it had something to do with his medical license or what, or where he went to school, because he was from Africa. My doctor, can't remember his name. It took me a while. I got her name back to mind before I started the video. But anyways, but Bodee had wanted to fix us, and when I moved out of the house, she said, "Oh, you're just over there, you're just over there to have a break. You're just over there to write." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. What are you talking about?" She kept, when I had, at a point I was still not confused. I was confused as whether or not I was divorcing or not, and I was undecided. But at the point when I decided that yes, I am going to, she was still on board with, me staying with him. And I'm like, I'm not over there just to take a break. I'm out, I'm over there to, because this marriage is ending. But she kept trying, and I'm like, no. So before they closed down, I did stop seeing her. But then they just closed, and I was just like, wow, they're gone, and before my doctor relocated to a different location and my counselor moved away, and that time I was able to still go to, because I had a very good doctor when I first realized I was bipolar. But it was, I'm for truth, though. I'm for admitting things and saying things. I'm for being transparent and authentic and honest. But the downside to that was, when I was bipolar, then it's like automatically everything's your fault. Everything's your fault now. You're bipolar, so it's your fault. And that just wasn't the case. So, yeah. But, the thing with, I do realize I have to have the right attitude. And my attitude now is that it is sad, and I do understand my counselor's point of, I can't sit there and focus on the sadness, the unfairness. There's just a lot of things in the world that aren't fair. And I feel like God helps me a lot with that, because there's going to be a place where things will be made right. And in Revelation 21, verse 3 and 4, it says, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying." and there shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. So I believe there will be a time when the things here will be made right. I can't change the fact that, you know, it's coming up on 3 years with my youngest two. I was briefly talking to my oldest daughter, but I realized it wasn't fixed, because for me to be back in their lives, their attitude needs to change too. Because there needs to not be the disrespect. So I'm looking forward to a time when things will be fair and just. And I can't get the time back, you know? That was lost. We can't get it back. You can't. We don't know how long we'll have here, but we will have eternity there for everything to be fixed. And so that is my attitude. I don't want to sweep it under the carpet. It's sad. But in this world, everything's not going to be fair. But when we get to heaven, things will be fixed. Anyways, those are my thoughts today. And on attitudes. Love you. Bye.